The Las Vegas Raiders are gearing up to face off against the Seattle Seahawks, and this matchup, although just part of the preseason, is shaping up to be one of those games that could tell us a whole lot more than people might initially expect. Yeah, it's early, but with a brand new coaching regime and so many fresh faces on both sides of the ball, this is not just another exhibition game. It's a legit opportunity to see who's rising, who's fading, and who might be fighting for a job when the real bullets start flying. Let's start right at the top. The quarterback situation. One of the biggest questions heading into this game is whether or not Geno Smith is going to take the field against his former team. Pete Carroll spoke to the media earlier in the week and as usual kept it pretty vague. He said everyone's getting ready, but he didn't exactly commit to starters playing a full stretch. Now, if we go off of Pete's tendencies in the past, he's not really known for letting his veterans go all out in the preseason. But considering this is a new look for Seattle, a fresh offensive approach, new coaches, new expectations, you can make the argument that these guys might need a little more on-field time together to gel. So if Geno does get out there, it's probably going to be limited. Maybe a drive, maybe two. Nothing crazy. On the Raiders side, Aiden O'Connell is locked in as QB2, and all signs point to him getting a good chunk of the action early. That's not a surprise. He needs the reps. And frankly, the team needs to evaluate him in game-like situations. Then we'll likely see Cam Miller take over in the second half. That could become the go-to setup for Las Vegas throughout the entire preseason. Aiden to open, Cam to close. Simple, structured, and smart, especially if you're trying to figure out your depth at the most important position on the field. Now, jumping over to the running backs, all eyes are locked in on Ashton Jeanty. Everyone wants to see what this kid is going to bring to the table, and not just in a traditional backfield role. There's serious buzz about him getting involved in the return game. He's currently listed as the second option both for kick and punt returns, and that opens up a whole different conversation about how this staff views his versatility. Does he get carries out of the backfield? Do they try to get him involved with screen passes, swing routes, maybe even some special packages? It's all on the table, but here's where things get even more interesting. The depth behind Jeanty is absolutely packed with competition. Raheem Mostert, Chris Collier, Zamir White. These guys are all locked in a very real battle for those remaining spots. And don't sleep on Sincere McCormick or Isaiah Lowy either. They were both listed as third stringers, but they've flashed in camp. And if the team decides to carry 4 or even 5 running backs, it's going to come down to execution in these very games. Every carry, every pass protection snap, every special teams rep, it all matters right now. Chip Kelly's offense is expected to use multiple backs in a variety of ways, and this game could give us our first real glimpse into what that rotation might actually look like when the season kicks off. Now, if we're talking about position, groups that are really under the microscope this weekend, the wide receiver room might top the list. The top trio right now appears to be Jacoby Tucker, Dante Thornton Jr., and one more name that's still a little up in the air depending on how things shake out in this game. But behind those two, you've got some serious roster pressure. Alex Bachman and Philip Dorsett are fighting tooth and nail for a roster spot, and the reports coming out of practice suggest that they're getting some run with the first team offense, which says a lot. Add in Colin Johnson, who's also getting first team looks, and you've got a real dogfight going on for those bottom receiver slots. Then you've got the rookies. Jack Beck has made a strong impression and seems to be sitting around the 4th or 5th receiver spot, depending on who you ask. But Tommy Mellott, he's got the talent, he's got the athleticism. But from what we've heard, he's starting to fall behind, and that's not a good sign. If he doesn't show something in this game, he might be headed straight for the practice squad, or worse, the waiver wire. This game right here might be his shot to prove he belongs. Moving inside to the tight end position, you'd think all eyes would be on Brock Bowers. And yeah, he's the star of that room. But honestly, the staff might not even need to see him suit up. They know what he brings. They've seen it in practice. But what about Michael Mayer? He's been getting heavy usage in Chip Kelly's system during camp, and this game could be a chance for him to show off that chemistry in live action. Then there's Ian Thomas and Albert Okweg-Bunam battling it out for what might be that tight end 3 slot on the final roster. If you're trying to keep up with the back half of this position group, guys like Kadir Ismail and Carter Runyon, it's about practice squad potential. But the ones to really watch in-game are Mayer, Ian Thomas, and Albert O. Those are the names with real roster implications in play. Now let's get to that offensive line because this unit has moving parts everywhere right now. Jordan, Meredith looks like he's going to start at center, at least for now. If that's the case, and if they roll out Colt and Miller at left tackle, you can pretty much lock in that they're treating this group as the presumed week 1 starting 5. That's the kind of signal a veteran like Miller sends. If he plays, this is serious. If he doesn't, it's still evaluation mode. JPJ, Jackson Powers Johnson, is one of the key guys to watch here. He didn't exactly wow anyone in the city. Raiders mock game, and now he's got to step up. If he's going to lock down that right guard spot, this is where it starts. As for the rookies, Charles Grant is expected to line up at tackle, and Caleb Rogers is slotting in at guard. Both. Guys need clean reps. No false starts, no holding calls, no missing assignments. That's the bar right now. The coaching staff is watching every detail. Offensive line chemistry is one of those things that takes time to develop. And with a new system in place, the sooner that unit locks in, the better. Before we flip over to the defensive side of the ball, let's just make one thing clear. As much as there's excitement around this new look Raiders offense, the defense is where most of the questions still live. And this preseason, it's going to provide a much better look into how the pieces are coming together on that side of the ball. The trade for Thomas Booker, the shakeups at cornerback, the battles at linebacker, this game will go a long way towards sorting all of that out. So what are we looking at first on defense? Start with the edge rushers. Max Crosby's always going to be the headline if he's on the field, and even in limited action, he's a guy you just have to watch. He's a game changer. In the Raiders mock game, he had a fumble recovery for a touchdown, and he looked every bit the All-Pro that we've come to expect. But it's the guys behind him who are in the spotlight this time around. Malcolm Kuntz and Tyree Wilson. Where are they lining them up? Are they rotating Wilson inside to get him reps at defensive tackle? How explosive does Kuntz look off the edge? And what about Tonka Hemingway, who was listed as a defensive end but could be used more like a hybrid? It's going to be interesting to see how this staff experiments with his alignment. Jafari Harvey is the name you need to circle, though. The undrafted free agent made waves in the Raiders mock game, arguably one of the biggest winners out of that scrimmage. He had what could have been 2 sacks, brought high energy, and played with a real edge. If he follows that up with another strong showing against Seattle, we could be looking at a dark horse candidate for the final roster, especially with Charles Snowden potentially suspended. Don't be shocked if Harvey earns more reps as the preseason roles, and defensive tackle is another area with a lot of moving parts. Christian Wilkins probably won't play. Lucky Fotu was seen in a boot during the week, so his availability is in doubt. That means opportunity, and a lot of it, for guys like Thomas Booker, Keandre Coburn, and JJ Pesci. Booker is the one everyone wants to see after the recent trade, and if he's going to make a run at the rotation, it starts now. JJ Pesci, in particular, is intriguing because with Tonka Hemingway shifting roles, JJ might get more looks inside, and his versatility could be huge if he performs. The depth battles are heating up too. John Lalou and Zach Carter are scrapping hard for that DT 2 or 3 role. If Fotu misses time, they're the ones who need to show up. Honestly, I'd run both of them out there for the entire first half. Let them go head to head and see who takes advantage of the opportunity. And that's just the beginning, because there's still the linebackers, the cornerbacks, the safeties, and even the special teams, all of which have major storylines in play for this matchup against Seattle. We're going to break all that down next, so stay tuned. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a stunning turn of events that has sent shockwaves through the NFL landscape, TJ Watt, the Pittsburgh Steelers star linebacker, has reportedly agreed to a monumental contract with the Las Vegas Raiders. Sources close to the situation suggest that Watt's decision to leave Pittsburgh was influenced by a combination of factors, including the Steelers' recent focus on acquiring veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Insiders indicate that Watt felt his contract negotiations were being overshadowed by the team's pursuit of Rodgers, leading to growing frustration. This discontent, coupled with the Raiders' aggressive pursuit and a lucrative offer, seemingly convinced Watt to make the bold move. The details of the contract are still emerging, but early reports suggest it surpasses Myles Garrett's recent 4-year, $160 million deal, potentially making Watt the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Fans and analysts alike are left speculating about the implications of this move on both teams' futures. The timing of Watt's departure from Pittsburgh has raised eyebrows, especially considering the Steelers' recent efforts to secure a new contract for their defensive leader. Just weeks ago, the Steelers and Watt agreed to a 3-year, $123 million extension, making him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history at that time. However, sources close to the team suggest that the negotiations were far from smooth, with Watt reportedly feeling sidelined as the franchise shifted its attention to other priorities. The Raiders, recognizing an opportunity, reportedly entered the fray with a compelling offer that addressed Watt's concerns and provided a fresh start. This unexpected turn has left many questioning the Steelers' strategy and their ability to retain key talent amidst shifting organizational focuses. The Raiders' acquisition of Watt is seen as a game changer for their defense, which has been in need of a dominant pass rusher. Watt's arrival is expected to significantly bolster their defensive line, providing a much-needed edge in their quest for playoff contention. Analysts believe that Watt's presence will not only improve the Raiders' pass rush, but also elevate the performance of their entire defense. The move signals the Raiders' commitment to building a championship-caliber team and their willingness to invest heavily in key positions. Fans are eagerly anticipating the impact of this acquisition, with many hopeful that Watt's leadership and skill set will propel the team to new heights. While the Raiders celebrate their new acquisition, the Steelers are left to reassess their defensive strategy moving forward. Losing a player of Watt's caliber is undoubtedly a significant blow to their defensive unit. Sources within the organization suggest that the Steelers are already exploring potential replacements and considering adjustments to their defensive schemes. The team is reportedly evaluating free agents and considering trade options to fill the void left by Watt's departure. Additionally, there is speculation that the Steelers may shift their focus to enhancing other areas of their roster, such as the offensive line or secondary, to maintain competitiveness in the AFC North. The coming weeks are expected to be critical as the Steelers navigate this unexpected challenge. The ripple effects of Watt's move extend beyond the immediate future of the Steelers and Raiders. League-wide, teams are closely monitoring the situation, analyzing the implications for salary cap structures and player market values. Watt's contract with the Raiders sets a new benchmark for defensive players, potentially influencing future negotiations across the league. Moreover, the circumstances surrounding his departure from Pittsburgh may prompt other teams to reconsider their approach to contract negotiations and player retention strategies. As the NFL offseason continues, Watt's move serves as a reminder of the dynamic nature of the league and the ever-changing landscape of player movement and team strategy. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.